Hi guys, Matthew Ivanhoe, president of the Cultivated Collector. Thank you so much for coming to check out this really, really special Diablo. I mean, I can't even tell you how many Diablos we've had. We've had a bunch. This is a particularly special car. Ferruccio Lamborghini, at the outset of the company, wanted to build the finest sports and super sports cars that could be bought in Italy at the time, but racing was not in the DNA. Racing was so not the objective. That was one way in which he wanted to be completely different from Ferrari. He wanted the company's DNA to be the finest road cars that money could buy. And as a result, he aggressively resisted racing. Now, some of his employees, not too far after the creation of the company, had other ideas, and you started to see blips and desires to get into race cars. So, like Bob Wallace developing the Miura SV Yoda, which the Yoda was a reference to Appendix J racing. They wanted to develop the Miura for Appendix J racing. Now, unfortunately, the original Yoda development car burned to the ground, so that kind of killed the program. It outed them. It killed the program. The racing was not meant to be, but it didn't mean that there weren't lots of people who started to look at these unbelievable cars and start to think, maybe these would make good race cars. By the time the Countach came around, you had some people who were developing, privateers who were developing the Countach into race cars. But you still had the factory, generally speaking, opposed to the idea of racing their cars. Lamborghini was still a road car company, and that was it. Diablo, things started to change. By then, it was abundantly clear with what had happened previously with Group C, but then what had started to happen in GT class racing, what had happened in the All Japan GT Championship, etc. They were acutely aware of the benefits of racing, and Lamborghini, as a result, started to contemplate how they could start to get involved. The Diablo SVR program was really the beginning of Lamborghini doing, factory-sanctioned race cars. They did develop a GT class race car themselves, but to be honest, Lamborghini didn't really have a lot of experience developing race cars. It was not their thing. They had to start somewhere, but it wasn't really their thing yet. So then enter Hans Reiter, who starts Reiter Engineering, German company. And Lamborghini had been looking for a partner to develop their factory efforts in racing. You have all these different efforts that are going on, but then Hans Reiter comes out as sort of the forerunner of who's going to be the partner for the factory to develop their race cars. And I think that we should probably take a step back for a moment and explore how manufacturers usually go racing, which is it's relatively rare for a manufacturer to develop, certainly sports racing cars, it's relatively unusual for them to develop those cars in-house. They usually have a designated third-party partner that is their racing outfit, frequently be known as the works team. So, even Porsche. Porsche has Porsche Motorsport, and Porsche Motorsport obviously does a lot of stuff, but you still have Manthey Racing, who gets very, very involved in Porsche Motorsport activity. Ferrari, you have Michelotto. Michelotto developed untold number of Ferrari sports racing cars. They were Ferrari's dedicated third-party outfit for developing all of their racing cars, and a Michelotto developed race car is considered a works car. That is, a works a works developed, works campaigned Michelotto car is works. That is a factory effort. So Lamborghini was looking for that, and in the end, it became Reiter Engineering. So Reiter became involved pretty quickly and developed the Diablo GTR program, which was, again, that was not a GT class racing program, but it was the beginning of that relationship. Now, Reiter then developed the car that is the subject of this video, which is this GT class Lamborghini Diablo, which is really the first works Lamborghini that actually competed in GT class racing. So this car really represents a first. It was not the first Lamborghini exploration into race cars, but it was their first actual venture into wheel-to-wheel competition against other real cars, against Ferrari, against Porsche. They were really letting it all hang out there. And that's what makes this car so special. And so to have this car, which you can go do untold number of incredible sports racing series with it. There's all sorts of cool stuff that you can go do with it. And you get to do it in a V12 Lamborghini. It's amazing. It's an absolutely incredible car. And this particular car, after it was done with its racing career, someone went to the trouble, when it was obviously still in Europe, someone went to the trouble of getting this car road homologated. So not only is this a race car, this is a race car that you can actually drive on the street, which just makes it that much cooler. And this car really is the very beginning of the Reiter Lamborghini partnership, the beginning of the Reiter Lamborghini story. Then the next step, you then start to see the Murcielago RGT, all the Gallardos that they then raced, and on and on and on. The Murci RSVs, all that stuff. That's all Reiter. These were cars that they developed from the ground up, and so was this. But this was the This was the start of Reiter as Lamborghini's designated works outfit. And as such, the importance of this car cannot be understated. What this car really represents, it's the tipping point for Lamborghini. Before this car, they had been figuring their way into proper FIA sanctioned and governed racing, and how they could get involved into real, true sports car racing. This was the point where their partnership was set, the cars were ready to be developed, and this was the first weapon. As such, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of Lamborghini's ethos changing, of them being a company that is only dedicated to making road cars, to being a company that builds, develops, and sells the finest road cars while also having cars that compete at the top level of motorsport. And that ethos is carried forward to today, evidenced by the fact that Lamborghini now competes at the top level of motorsport. That just further enhances the provenance and the excitement of what Lamborghini is. As such, we can't understate the importance of this car. This car is Genesis. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of what Lamborghini motorsport is today. We really can't thank you guys enough for coming along on this journey with us to explore this really, really important moment in Lamborghini history. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're gonna be doing a lot more of this kind of stuff, and we really have a lot of fun doing these deep dives on these cars. So we really hope you guys are enjoying it. If you enjoyed it, we would really appreciate a like. That'd be great. Don't forget to do that. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Matthew Ivanhoe, president of the Cultivated Collector. We'll see you next time.